How would it be? Trapped forever with a raging madman at your throat. Until time itself came to a stop. For eternity. How would it be?
Look out into the cosmos, and what do you see? You see some nice colors and some interesting planets and some cool phenomenon. But if you really look hard, what you see mostly is a whole bunch of nothing. But look around here on Earth, and what do you see? You see an island of incredible richness in an otherwise very bleak universe. You see a place where a complicated and unlikely set of circumstances have come together to create something that, as far as we know, is unique in the universe. Now, I am among those who believe we are not alone and that we will someday find our very distant brethren somewhere out there. But the rarity of life in the universe, at least on an absolute basis, is a nearly indisputable truth. Look around. You also see a place that lives quite literally by a very definitive set of rules. These rules are not arbitrary, though they can be capricious, and they are, at the same time, both miraculous for those who obey them and punishing for those who don't. Now imagine that you are a relatively intelligent human being, the smartest organism within many light years, with a light year being the distance that you can travel at 186,000 miles per second. Sustained for 60 seconds of every minute, 60 minutes of every hour, 24 hours of every day, 365 days a year. And imagine that you have decided on purpose, consciously, with intent and purpose, to ignore the rules that have brought you to where you are. You are now entering the mind of a human being who has chosen to become a socialist. Because you see, socialism, by definition, thumbs its nose at Mother Nature and the very easily understandable rules she has laid out for us. Nature has laid out a very strict set of rules for our fellow creatures here on Earth. Compete and win or die. Simple, straightforward, irrefutable, and often brutal. She's laid out the same rules for us, but with a twist. And this twist boils down to the following: live free or die. From the Egyptians to the Greeks to the Romans to the British to the Americans and beyond. If you look objectively at the historical record, whether it's the ancient record or the current one, the trend toward individual liberty is unmistakable. Why? Because free societies succeed, restricted societies fail, and the degree of success or failure over time is directly proportional to the extent to which a society is free or restricted. Socialists are also thumbing their noses at history, at arithmetic, at logic, and put simply, at common sense. If socialism was going to work, by now it would have. All the convoluted thinking in the world, blaming too much freedom for the failure of socialism, is not going to change the essential, indisputable truth of that failure. Imagine a world with no accountability, no consequences, no responsibility, and conversely, no personal achievement, no personal pride, no pride in winning. At the same time, socialists are not stupid. They have chosen on purpose to follow a philosophy that they know intellectually is dead wrong. They've done this for base emotional reasons. They're doing it because they think it makes them look good to other socialists. And the cognitive dissonance between the policies they are pursuing and the knowledge that these policies are destructive, as well as their universal inability to follow their own advice, they're soul-crushing. From a psychological standpoint, they are following their hearts at the expense of others, which most of them openly acknowledged. They are living in million-dollar homes while railing against the rich. They're accumulating prodigious wealth while preaching that the pursuit of wealth is evil. They're punishing the downtrodden while claiming that the responsibility of every human is to help them, sometimes, with death being the openly acknowledged proper response to people who behave the exact way they're behaving themselves. Most socialists are not sociopaths, and therefore they have become trapped in a private hell of their own making. There are some who have escaped, and those who have are finding themselves To paraphrase a wise man, healthy, unapologetically wealthy, and wise. They're also finding themselves, even if it was not their intention, to be much more helpful to those in need than they were before. So we should not hate socialists, but we should pity them. How would it be to be trapped forever with a raging madman at your throat? And then how would it be to discover in time that that raging madman was you?
There's someone on the way. Something.